Hi guys. Since we've been doing a thing on is it Dogman or Bigfoot, I decided to do some investigation into the very popular film Boggy Creek and the attack at the Ford residence. I've got some notes, so you'll have to bear with me. I've got notes here, and I've also got notes on the computer. The creature on Boggy Creek, the folk monster, was also what it was called. It was one of the first reported ones was in the 1970s, and it was approximated at 7 foot tall, 250 pounds to 300 pounds, with a chest that was 3 foot in width. Later on, in the 1980s, it was seen again, and it was estimated to be 10 foot tall, 800 pounds, swinging the arms similar to a monkey, had a terrible odor, and then again, the red glowing eyes, which I haven't seen the red eyes yet. I'm not saying they don't exist, I've seen the blue eyes. The name given to the creature, the folk creature, was in the Texarkana Gazette. Daily journalist Jim Powell reported the creature between 1971 and 1974. In 1971, the attack happened at Bobby Ford's house. His wife was home. It happened on May 1st, just in case anybody wants to know the exact date. His wife said that she was sitting in the house. He had been out hunting with his brother, and the creature had reached through her screen on her window and scared her, caused her to scream. They come running home hearing the scream. Her husband, at that point, and his brother chased the creature away. The creature then returned that night and busted in their back door. Bobby Ford got into a wrestling match with it outside to where he was able to eventually crawl away from it. They did shoot at the creature. They said they unloaded their guns. They shot approximately 7 times. He was treated at St. Michael's Hospital in Texarkana. The investigators that investigated said that he had large scratches. Some say gashes. It's people say both on that. And they all agree that he was in a mild case of shock. Definitely afraid of something is what the doctor reported. So, I mean, definitely something, would have happened to have caused him to go into shock. He said that the creature jumped off the top of their house. It had been on top of the house. So, when it leaped off the house, it attacked him. There was another report that says when it leaped off the house and attacked him, it put its arm around him, its hairy arm, and he actually ran through their front door, through the wood, and through the glass. Okay, that's going to make a lot of people, from an investigative point, say, was he attacked and scratched on the back and stuff, or was it from the glass or the wood from the door? I mean, that's the first thing I would ask. You can't find the doctor's report, so you can't actually go in and see if the doctor said, there was glass in the wounds, if there was wood in the wounds, what caused the wounds. I look at everything from an objectional point. I try to be fair. I want to be as honest as we can be and be as fair as we can be, because the only way we're going to find true answers is to look for the truth. Sometimes the truth isn't what we want it to be. The constable at the time, Ernest Walraven, he loaned them a gun that night and some ammunition because they had used all their ammunition on the attack. Powell said that he had researched throughoutly, finding prints, sources of earlier sightings in the 1960s in Jonesville, Louisiana. In 1960 in Jonesville, Louisiana, there was another report of a creature that matched almost identically to this creature that attacked them in Folk, Arkansas. Two places aren't real far apart. I'll put a picture up to show y'all kind of the distance between the two areas. It was a creature, they said, three-toed. Again, it gets us back to the three toes. Most large apes are not three-toed, they're five-toed. In fact, there has never been anything that has been researched to have three toes in the ape family. Everybody says that Bigfoot, derived from the ape, and if he derived from the ape, there's two characteristics that I found just by studying right now that actually doesn't match the criteria for what everybody describes Bigfoot as being. Bigfoot, everybody describes this large, hairy ape animal, but with red glowing eyes, okay? If you study the animals in the ape family, gorillas, all the large apes, they do not become active at night. In fact, they're a lot like us because their eyes are not adjusted for nighttime activity. They are more of a daytime. So they would not be nocturnal, and the reports state that they are nocturnal. So there's a lot of things there that, like I said, before, I'm not going to say that this other creature is the dog man, definitively. I'm going to say I believe there is another creature that is mistaken for Bigfoot. I believe that if you don't know what you're looking for, that you can totally misidentify him. I believe Bigfoots are not as aggressive as the other creature. I do believe that. And I believe that children are more at risk around the other creature than they are Bigfoot. We'll get more into that in the next video. But, you go on, and as you keep looking, this guy here, and I'm going to put the link in the description, he was one of the investigators that had went out to the house, and he did say that his name was Mr. Hall. He recalled arriving at the scene early the morning after the attack to find a frightened family moving their belongings into a U-Haul truck. They'd only lived in this house a week, guys. I would say the probability of something happening with somebody moving out of a house within a week are pretty high. Most people don't move in and move out. I mean, if you're going to move, you're at least going to stay the month if you paid for it. So I would say something happened. Also, there's a paper clipping I found. I'll post it, the link, and also a picture. I went and found it. It's in also the Gazette. After he was attacked that night, Mr. Ford would not stay at the house. He actually stayed in town. He was so afraid he would not go back to the house. Both brothers stated that they had both shot the creature. There was no blood found during the investigation. Some people in town believed it to be an elaborate hoax. They said the rumors circulated about a circus train that he derailed along the Sulphur River bottoms years before the sightings were merely animals that had escaped and gone wild. This is another monstrous story and a snowballing effect. There was no truth ever found to the circus train ever wrecking. Powell said it was pretty much like a big show down there. It was hard to find the truth from all the people going down there making up stories. The local sheriff's office, people stopped and were just going crazy trying to hunt down this beast. They were carrying guns. A lot of them had liquor. They were cutting people's private fences. They were trespassing. It became just a flood of people. That's why I don't give away a lot of my areas that I find these things, because you can cause, in what I've read and from the information I've got from Pecos, they run in clans, and you can cause the clans to move. There was a Little Rock radio station, KAAY, offered a reward of $1,090 to anyone who could find the monster. A local man named by the name of Scoggins offered a $200 reward for the creature. Again, this caused chaos in town of folk. You had out-of-towners coming in. They were drunk. They had their hunting dogs. They were cutting fences. They were trespassing. Just chaos. And in chaos, you know it's hard to find the proof. Now, a guy named Willie E. Smith, I'll put the pictures in here also. He found footprints in his soybean field. The monster had walked through his soybean field, not stepping on any plants. He thought that was pretty weird. The footprints were three-toed again, which is another thing. You know, a bipedal ape is not going to have 3 toes. They're going to have 5. The monster was sighted several times in fields around the nearby town, but nobody was able to get a good picture of it. 3 people were headed back from Texarkana, from Shreveport. They saw something cross the road. One of them was a very credible person. He was actually a doctor. So they said that they took that report very serious. The footprints also in the field were examined by Willie E. Smith, the game warden at the time, and Carl Gallion, and they confirmed they could not confirm or disprove the prints, but again, they were lost because they were 3-toed. So, you know, a thing that, you know, really threw everything off was just the 3 toes, pretty much. And that's what throws me off, because, I mean, I would expect 5 toes also. The archaeologist Dr. Frank Scombaugh, he said that all primates and hominoids, both modern and historical, have 5 toes. In addition, all primates are not nocturnal, but in this matter, it is reported that this creature is nocturnal, which would not support evidence of a big, hairy beast crossed with an ape. These are experts, guys. So, I mean, there was another creature in Louisiana. He was named the Honey Island Swamp Monster, that also has 3 toes. And he sold them out of the gas station as souvenirs. Which was very profitable to him. They were the 3-toed ones. I'll place pictures of those in here so y'all can take a look at them. Greer said he took the local game warden back out to the field, and again, the game warden could not prove the tracks were authentic. People at this time were having a lot of sightings still. The folk monster exists over a multitude of miles. The mayor, when asked about the movie, Mayor Cecil Smith, would not confirm nor deny seeing the creature. He just said the movie had good footage of the scenery. And Powell logs onto Bigfoot sites all the time, reads them, and says he enjoys the mystery. I'm going to put an actual clipping in. It's the Arkansas Gazette. That's what my son calls it. It's actually the Arkansas Gazette. I'm poking fun at him a little bit. And you go down, and this is the part that really caught me. In 2001, the track previously examined by the anthropologist Dr. Grover Krantz of WSU and archaeologist Dr. Frank Schomburg of SAU, this is back in the 1970s, determined to be misidentificated. It has been re-examined by track experts who say the folk track was of gator origins, crocodilian in nature, not that of a hairy bipedal humanoid. The tale is a little town merchandising machine and tourist attraction, and they ruled it as a hoax. Now, there's a lot of sightings, I think, for it to be a hoax, because again, you go back, you got a lot of people, different ages, different households, different out of town experience, and everybody's seeing something. So I mean, there's something there. My thing is it Bigfoot? The evidence that I read and the evidence that I read from real Bigfoot hunters, the folk monster can go either way, to me. I mean, a snout, if he has a snout, I've never seen a monkey with a snout. But I have heard of the Dogman stories, and I've just started investigating those, and I actually have, there's 3 people that I know that are supposed to have had a face-to-face encounter with something that they knew was not Bigfoot. One gentleman has passed away. The other lady refuses to talk about it. And another gentleman will not talk about it. Now, I gave the information to Pecos. He may be able to get this guy to talk. We're hoping this guy will talk and at least let us know what he's seen. I know it was enough that when he walked in the house, he said he was white as a sheet, fell on the couch, and said he never wanted to chase it again. There was tracks found at that house that night. One track was 22 inches, the other one was 15, and they were barefoot. They were barefoot in nature. Here you go, guys. 3 toes. Is it possible that whenever he walks or runs, he walks on the side of his foot, that he leaves a 3-toe imprint? I don't know much about footprints. Something maybe to look at. I'll definitely look that up in the future. I know that when somebody's attacked by something that jumps off the roof of a house, and they shoot it 7 times with shotguns. Now, we don't know what was in the shotguns. See, they put in the report, they said, well, we shot him, 7 times. That could have been birdshot. They could have been out squirrel hunting. And we know that birdshot, even if it was a bear against a bear, is probably not going to be that effective. I doubt they were carrying .38 caliber birdshot in their shotguns if they had been out squirrel hunting or rabbit hunting. So, could that be a possibility? I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions in the Boggy Creek that I'm still trying to dig into. I can tell you from personal experience, I've seen what I believe to be a Bigfoot, and I've seen something else. Connor's sitting over here, and he will attest to this. He saw it. We saw something that was not a Bigfoot.
It was very weird looking.
It was 10 foot from us, and I can do a show if y'all like, and he can tell you the whole story of what happened. It was not a fun time. Hunter, my littlest one, he was hit in the back of the head, by a stick like I talked about. But, the Folk Monster, I love the movie. I bought it when it came out on VHS. I think I bought it, I was like 16, and I bought it, and I think there's a lot of facts there. My grandpa was in the area a lot back then. He said very well could have been something there. Just really a lot of things. I mean, it's very interesting. Just it actually attacked somebody. But then again, if it's not Bigfoot, then what is it? Because I mean, everybody I've talked to have never had a Bigfoot attack them. Now, they have been followed by him, they've been hooped at by him, rocks thrown at them, but as far as a physical altercation to where somebody was hurt, you just don't hear that. And I don't know, I think that if this thing was that crazy, as many hunters as that go out into the woods, we'd be getting a lot more, attacks. Either that or a lot of people just don't know what they're looking for. I know a lot of people were upset at Willie for making the casts and selling them out of his gas station, making a profit, selling them as souvenirs. That hurts any, story when people start profiting off of a story, because then people say, well, this was a hoax, put together to make money. I believe in Bigfoot. I believe there's something else down there. Stay tuned to my next video. Pecos sent me another burial ground photo from one of his, I think it's his number 3 burial ground. I am going to be exploring some of these burial grounds. He's sending me some Google Earth maps. I'm sworn to secrecy, or he'll come out and make me disappear. But we're going to go try to get some pictures of them, see what we can find. We're going to go in there. We're going to explore. I hope you all join us in exploring. We're going to go in the field probably pretty soon, possibly this Saturday we're looking at. So hang in there. I would love to hear your comments, any information you have that I can look into, investigate on this. But I hope you all enjoyed watching. I hope you enjoy the photos we've placed in here. I think the Ford's home was really neat to kind of see where the monster would have been and where he would have leaped from and attacked him. Just a lot of cool stuff. So if y'all are, interested, subscribe, help support my page. And we look forward to doing another video as soon as we can. Have a very Merry Christmas. And hopefully we'll see you before next year. But if we don't, we will see you next year. Take care, guys.